Happy New Year to all of the viewers of Millennium News 24 and welcome to Millennium News Hour. I am Tanzeeba Nauri. In today's bulletin, we will present top and trending news from across the nation and the world. Let's begin with the headlines of the day. Biden offers optimistic New Year's message as Trump lashes out. A crash on a New York City parkway leaves 5 dead. Early morning shooting kills Oman and owns 4 others in Los Angeles County. Japan lowers tsunami warning after a series of earthquakes but tells people to stay away from coast. Joe Biden, Xi Jinping exchange greetings. Russia launches record number of drones in Ukraine and Putin says Moscow will intensify its attacks. Kim Jong-un tells army to annihilate South Korea, US if provoked. Danes stunned by Queen's surprise abdication. Colorado mother suspected of killing her 2 children and owning a third arrested in United Kingdom. Israel withdrawing some units from Gaza. Bangladesh court sentences Nobel laureate Yunus to 6 months in jail for violating labor laws. British actor Tom Wilkinson, known for The Full Monty and Michael Clayton, dies at 75. And Australian cricketer David Warner retires from ODIs ahead of last test. You were listening to Headlines, now news in detail. The likely candidates in the 2024 presidential matchup issued 2 starkly different New Year messages to voters, with Joe Biden striking a note of cheerful optimism as his almost certain challenger Donald Trump, and Trump lashing out in a social media post laden with lies and conspiracy theories. The President and First Lady Jill Biden, vacationing in St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands, offered a New Year's message touting U.S. job gains and the performance of the U.S. economy during his administration, a message that voters have so far refused to accept. In an interview with American Idol host Ryan Seacrest about his hopes for 2024, Biden said, "The American people understand that we are in a better position than any country in the world to lead the world. We are coming back and it's about time," Biden said. Asked about his memories of the previous year, Biden, whom Republicans in Congress have derisively called Beachfront Biden, said people are in a position to be able to making a living now, and they have created a lot of jobs for over 14 million. In comments to reporters, Biden said his New Year's resolution was to come back next year. "That's the biggest one right there," he said. Trump, however, issued a simple Happy New Year. "It will be a historic one. Make America great again," on his Truth Social platform. 5 people died when the car they were in crashed on a New York City parkway Monday morning, police said. The Mazda was heading north on the Cross Island Parkway in the borough of Queens when it collided with another vehicle just before 6 a.m. The 5 people in the car were pronounced dead at the crash scene near the Whitestone Bridge, according to the New York Police Department. Photos from the scene show the car overturned on the roadway. The driver of the other vehicle was hospitalized in stable condition. Police did not immediately identify the 5 people who were killed. An investigation into the crash was continuing. A woman was killed and 4 people were wounded in a Los Angeles County shooting shortly after the arrival of the new year, police said. Officers from the Hawthorne Police Department responded to a shooting report around 12:30 a.m. Monday, KABC TV reported. The Hawthorne police said a male victim who suffered gunshot wounds was transported to a hospital from the scene near a shopping mall on Crenshaw Boulevard and Rosecrans Avenue, KABC reported. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department said 4 other victims arrived at area hospitals by other means. An adult female victim was later pronounced dead. One of the others was listed in critical condition and 3 were listed as stable, KABC reported. There were no immediate arrests in the shooting, which was being investigated by the Sheriff's Department. Hawthorne is part of the Los Angeles metropolitan area in southwestern Los Angeles County. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all at TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BT Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your fist. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for global updates. Japan dropped its highest-level tsunami alert after issuing one following a series of major earthquakes Monday, but told residents of coastal areas not to return to their homes as deadly waves could still come. The quakes, the largest of which had a magnitude of 7.6, started a fire and collapsed buildings on the west coast of Japan's main island, Honshu. It was unclear how many people might have been killed or hurt. The Japan Meteorological Agency reported more than a dozen strong quakes in the Japan Sea off the coast of Ishikawa and nearby prefectures starting shortly after 4 p.m. local time. At least 6 homes were damaged by the quake, with people trapped inside. Government spokesman Yoshimasa Hayashi said. A fire broke out in Wajima City, Ishikawa Prefecture, and electricity was out for more than 30,000 households, he said. The meteorological agency initially issued a major tsunami warning for Ishikawa and lower-level tsunami warnings or advisories for the rest of the western coast of Honshu, as well as for the northernmost of the country's main islands, Hokkaido. The warning was downgraded to a regular tsunami several hours later, meaning the sea could still generate waves of up to 3 meters. Aftershocks could also slam the same area over the next few days, the agency said. China's President Xi Jinping exchanged congratulations with US President Joe Biden on the 45th anniversary of diplomatic ties between the two countries, the Chinese Foreign Ministry said on Monday. Xi, in his message, said both countries have weathered the storms and moved forward in general, which has enhanced the well-being of their peoples and contributed to world peace, stability, and prosperity, according to the ministry statement. She called China and US forming ties a major event in the history of bilateral relations and in international relations. China-US ties have been frosty, but Biden administration officials have visited Beijing and met with their counterparts to rebuild communications and trust in the months leading up to a high-stakes summit between Xi and Biden in San Francisco in November, deemed an opportunity to cool tensions between the world's two largest economies. She said the summit has pointed out the direction for both nations' ties under a future-oriented vision. I am willing to work with President Biden to continue to steer and navigate the China-US relationship for the benefit of China and the US and the two peoples and to promote the cause of world peace and development, she said. She also exchanged New Year's messages with North Korea leader Kim Jong-un. Russia launched a record 90 Shahed-type drones across Ukraine during the early hours of the new year, and Russian President Vladimir Putin said his country would intensify its attacks on its neighbor. Speaking during a New Year's Day visit to a military hospital, Putin said Ukraine could expect more such strikes after shelling of the Russian border city of Belgorod that killed more than 24 people and wounded more than 100 others. They want to intimidate us and create uncertainty within our country. We will intensify strikes. Not a single crime against our civilian population will go unpunished, the Russian leader said, describing the barrage of Belgorod as a terrorist act. Russia has blamed Ukraine for Saturday's attack, which was one of the deadliest to take place on Russian soil since Moscow's full-scale invasion of Ukraine started more than 22 months ago. Russian officials said the death toll stood at 25 as of Monday, including 5 children. Cities across western Russia regularly have come under drone attacks since May, although Ukrainian officials never acknowledged responsibility for strikes on Russian territory or the Crimean Peninsula. Putin accused Western nations of using Ukraine to try and put Russia in its place. While vowing retribution, he insisted Russia would only target military infrastructure in Ukraine. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has ordered his military to thoroughly annihilate South Korea and the United States if they initiate a military confrontation in another round of bellicose rhetoric targeting Seoul and Washington. The two allies ramped up military and political cooperation in 2023 as North Korea conducted a record number of weapons tests, including of a new solid-fueled intercontinental ballistic missile, and put its first spy satellite into orbit. At a meeting with North Korea's top commanding officers in Pyongyang on New Year's Eve, Kim said his military should annihilate the enemy if provoked, the official Korean Central News Agency reported on Monday. Kim has already indicated he plans to put 3 more satellites into space and further develop his country's weapons arsenal this year. If the enemy opts for military confrontation and provocation against the DPRK, our army should deal a deadly blow to thoroughly annihilate them by mobilizing all the toughest means and potentialities without a moment's hesitation, Kim said, using the abbreviation of North Korea's official name. Kim's comments echo the rhetoric of last week's year-end party meetings. Danes were slowly coming to terms with Queen Margaret's surprise announcement that she will abdicate on January 14 in favor of her son after 52 years on the throne. Goosebumps, to say the least. It was quite a shock, 30-year-old Stephen Tackert told AFP on Monday, adding that he, like many other Danes, had followed the 83-year-old Queen's annual New Year's Eve speech live on television. The hugely popular chain-smoking monarch had insisted over the years that she would never step down, repeatedly saying she would stay on the throne Until I Drop. Margaret II has been instrumental in making the Danish monarchy one of the most popular in the world, enjoying the support of more than 80% of Danes, according to a recent poll. A widow since 2018, she underwent extensive back surgery in February. In Sunday's announcement, she said the operation gave cause to thoughts about the future, whether now would be an appropriate time to pass on the responsibility to the next generation. A Colorado mother suspected of killing two of her young children and injuring a third was arrested Saturday in the United Kingdom, according to the Colorado Springs Police Department. Kimberly Singler's 9-year-old daughter and 7-year-old son were found dead on December 19 when police responded to a report of a burglary at their home. Police later said the report turned out to be unfounded. Singler initially cooperated with police but disappeared during the investigation, said Ira Cronin, a spokesperson for the Colorado Springs Police Department. Authorities were unable to apprehend her after obtaining an arrest warrant Tuesday on charges of murder and attempted murder, among other allegations. Singler was not under surveillance and was last seen in Colorado Springs on December 23, said Cronin. Authorities did not provide further details on the overseas arrest but said they are working with multiple law enforcement agencies. Israel says 5 of its military brigades, including many reservists, will be withdrawing from the Gaza Strip this week in an effort to pace itself for an expected long-term conflict and to mitigate damage to Israel's economy. The Israeli Defense Forces said the 828th Brigade, 261st Brigade and 460th Brigade, composed of active duty troops, will all return to their normal training missions. The 551st Brigade and 14th Brigade, comprising reservists, will be allowed to go home and to resume their normal jobs, the IDF said. Yet the military took pains to signal that the withdrawal of those brigades did not signal an end to active, intensive combat in Gaza or any reduction in Israel's mission there. Israel has been under intense global pressure to scale back the war, but Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said in a national address over the weekend that the war would continue for many more months. A labor court in Bangladesh's capital sentenced Monday Nobel Peace Prize winner Muhammad Yunus to 6 months in jail for violating the country's labor laws. Yunus, who pioneered using microcredit to help impoverished people, was present in court and was granted bail. The court gave the defense 30 days to appeal. Grameen Telecom, which he founded as a non-profit, is at the center of the trial. Sheikh Marina Sultana, head of the Third Labor Court of Dhaka, said in her verdict Yunus' company violated labor laws. 67 of Grameen Telecom employees were supposed to be made permanent, and the employees' participation and welfare funds were not formed. She also said that following company policy, 5% of the company's dividends were supposed to be distributed to staff. Grameen Telecom owns 34% of the country's largest mobile phone company, Grameenphone, a subsidiary of Norway's telecom giant Telenor. The Nobel laureate is also facing an array of other charges involving alleged corruption and fund embezzlement. Tom Wilkinson, the Oscar-nominated British actor known for his roles in The Full Monty, Michael Clayton, and The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, has died, his family said. He was 75. A statement shared by his agent on behalf of the family said Wilkinson died suddenly at home on Saturday. It didn't provide further details. Wilkinson was nominated for a Best Actor Academy Award for his work in 2001's family drama In the Bedroom and in the Best Supporting Actor category for his role in Michael Clayton, a 2007 legal thriller that starred George Clooney. He is remembered by many in Britain and beyond for playing former steel mill foreman Gerald Cooper in the 1997 comedy The Full Monty, about a group of unemployed steel workers who formed an unlikely mill stripping act. Wilkinson was born in Yorkshire in northern England in 1948 and spent part of his childhood in Canada. He attended the Royal Academy of dramatic art in the 1970s. He starred in dozens of other TV dramas and movies, from Rush Hour and Batman Begins to Shakespeare's In Love, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and Valkyrie. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all at TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BT Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your fist. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 16,852.89. The NYSE Composite is decreased by 37.69 points or 0.22%. Tokyo stock close price is 33,464.17. The Nikkei 225 index is decreased by 75.45 points or 0.23%. Shanghai stock close price is 2,974.93. The Shanghai index is increased by 20.23 points or 0.68%. Hong Kong stock close price is 17,047.39. The Hang Seng index is increased by 3.86 points or 0.02%. Bombay stock close price is 72,271.94. The Sensex index is increased by 31.68 points or 0.04%. Let's have a look on today's sports story. Australia opener David Warner has called time on his one-day international and test match careers to spend more time with his family, but kept the door open to play the 2025 Champions Trophy if needed. The 37-year-old, a key member of the Australian team that won the 50 overs ICC Cricket World Cup for the sixth time in India last year, will play his 112th and final test against Pakistan at his home Sydney Cricket Ground starting on Wednesday. I have got to give back to the family, and also on the back of that World Cup, I am definitely retiring from one-day cricket as well, he said at a news conference on Monday. It will help the one-day team move along a bit, an emotional Warner said, with his wife and children also present. I know there is a Champions Trophy coming up, he added. If I am playing decent cricket in 2 years' time and I am around and they need someone, I am going to be available. The Champions Trophy has not been played since 2017 but is set to be resurrected in 2025 in Pakistan. Traditionally 50-over cricket, reports have said there has been a push to make it T20. Warner scored 22 centuries and 6,932 runs at an average of 45.30 over 161 ODIs after his debut in January 2009, winning 2 World Cups in the format. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. Biden offers optimistic New Year's message as Trump lashes out. A crash on a New York City parkway leaves 5 dead. Early morning shooting kills woman and owns 4 others in Los Angeles County. Japan lowers tsunami warning after a series of earthquakes but tells people to stay away from coast. Joe Biden, Xi Jinping exchange greetings. Russia launches record number of drones in Ukraine and Putin says Moscow will intensify its attacks. Kim Jong-un tells army to annihilate South Korea, US if provoked. Danes stunned by Queen's surprise abdication. Colorado mother suspected of killing her 2 children and owning a third arrested in United Kingdom. Israel withdrawing some units from Gaza. Bangladesh court sentences Nobel laureate Yunus to 6 months in jail for violating labor laws. British actor Tom Wilkinson, known for The Full Monty and Michael Clayton, dies at 75. And Australian cricketer David Warner retires from ODIs ahead of last test. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel and visit our website. Our website address is www.millenniumnews24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all at TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV. And also in all European countries and Australia, available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BT Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.